Building your business was hard, and you only sell it once. With a focus on marketing, communications, digital, and service businesses, the Tobin M&A advisory team is dedicated to helping owners maximize and monetize their life's work. Welcome to the Tobin M&A podcast.
Welcome, listeners and viewers. Hi, I'm David Tobin from Tobin M&A Advisory Group. I am thrilled to be with a friend and client, Michael Neumeier.
Thank you for the invitation.
Thank you
Glad to be here.
for doing this. Michael and I, your exit planning journey that I've been along for the ride with, It started 8 years ago when we first started talking about exit planning.
Maybe even before then.
Yes.
I think we've known each other for about 12 or 13 years.
Yes.
And of course, there was only one person to call.
Well, I appreciate that. So we stayed in touch. We talked about exit planning and building value along the way.
Yeah.
A year and a half ago, you made a decision that it was time.
Yes.
Before we talk about the exit planning journey, tell them a little bit, please, about you, the Arketi Group.
Sure. We've been around for more than 20 years now. The firm started with 3 founding partners as of the middle of 2020. I was the only remaining partners. The other 2 partners did not pass away. They retired and went on to do other things and have second acts and sold their interest to the organization. We specialize in B2B technology, PR, and digital marketing. We're a fully integrated firm. We have our own studio, which is actually producing the video today, that does branding, design, interactive development, video. In addition, we have a small content team for really heavy lift contents, and then our account teams, which are totally integrated. We don't have people that do just PR, just digital marketing, just branding. Everyone plays the field so that we're able to really wrap small, tight teams around our clients to deliver truly integrated services to them. So that's our story, and we're sticking with it.
Well, I like it because your story was one that resonated, sat well with prospective buyers. So you're building the agency. You're still young. Energy.
Absolutely.
You make a decision. It's time to either sell or look for a strategic financial partner.
Sure.
Why? What caused you to say?
Well, I look deceivingly younger than I am. No, I'm still very young. But wanted to present opportunities to our leadership team, our young leadership team, for them to grow the organization in the future. And I also didn't want to be the 65, 7-year-old guy still running an agency. I would much rather set it up for future success with the new and next team and make that happen. So that was really one of the reasons. And I knew in a professional services environment, the owner and founder has to stick around for a while because you're not just buying a book of business. You are buying, no matter how you try to extract yourself from being one with the organization, he or she at the tip of the spear is often seen as Mr. or Mrs. Arketi in this sense. Even if I don't work on things, which I don't work on anything, but I get credit all the time and have for many years and always tell clients and folks on the outside, it's not me, it's the team. But that is how professional services works.
So, stepping stone for your team, work on larger engagements, the resources of a partner or a buyer. So you engage us, which we were thankful that you did. You, along with our team members, we talked about your go-to market strategy. You looked at the landscape with our input and you said, let's target both strategic buyers, financial buyers being private equity groups and family offices. And you said within that grouping, let's look at both opportunities for Arketi to be a platform investment or to be an add-on to another platform. So you had us go down all 3 paths. your value proposition was such that we were able to attract multiple offers.
Right. Think
You
5.
We like that. You selected a financial sponsor.
Right.
And then we're going to talk about specifics, but why a financial type structure as opposed to a strategic?
Sure. Well, when we talked about this, and I vividly remember talking with you, and my wife was with me, makes important decisions, and it was Labor Day weekend in Hilton Head, South Carolina.
Remember the meeting?
At the bar, of course, the oceanfront bar, with pina coladas, talking about, what are some of the high level options. And I still have on my cell phone from later that day, walking on the beach, just some raw notes I took. And the very first note in there, a list of about 8 or 9 things I wanted. The very first note was be the platform. So when we were presented with options and had some really great strategic options, also, I wasn't finding a fit for where the groups within the organization would go without being cut up into parts and pieces and kind of redistributed to maybe different areas of excellence inside a platform that was already being built, because we were being seen as very unique because we're truly integrated. We didn't have a pocket of people that did just PR or just marketing or just branding. And there was not a clear line of sight as to where the studio would go and how all that would happen. And I see us holistically as the magic. And during the process, we got a lot of compliments on and questions around how do you do that? How do you have that truly integrated approach? So it felt more and more like not being cut up and digested into another organization. I worried that the team would leave.
And which helped our efforts.
Sure.
You had a vision for growth.
Mm-hmm.
And
Right.
you didn't need a strategic to execute.
Right.
You had the resources, but you were looking for the support of a private equity group or a
Right.
family office.
So when that came into the mix, it really seemed attractive. A little bit of control your own destiny. There's not there was no hubris around the Arketi name must live on. But there was the opportunity to really let the next generation step up. And if we really are that special in how we train and grow people and have this unique integrated DNA, why not share it with others? And then, of course, I went back to the notes taken on the beach that day after having the pina coladas with you and Kelly. And the very first thing was be the platform. So, a little bit of go with your gut also. And then you brought nice people to the table in terms of the ultimate private equity folks that we went with. They were nice, good individuals and organization.
Yeah, so you ended up partnering with, it was 2 groups that came together.
Right.
A group called Go Capital and Station Partners. To your credit and theirs, you guys spent a lot of time together.
Sure.
You took this decision, you and Kelly both spent a lot of time with them. What were some of the reasons you selected them as your financial partner?
Sure. Well, it's very much like dating. You don't just jump to get married. That doesn't always work out that well. So we really wanted to understand what they saw as their role in the organization, what they would be bringing to the table in terms of capital that they'd be bringing to the table, expertise that they'd be bringing to the table, introductions to other folks that they'd be bringing to the table. Wanted them to have a clear understanding of how Arketi could deliver for them, and also wanted to get to know them as people, as individuals. I speak to them weekly, all the time, and have become good friends with them. I knew that from having operated already in the past with two other partners or owners, that this was going to be a similar thing. Although I remain the largest independent owner as an individual, they are owners also. So you have to look at it through that way. And then both groups were relatively smaller, younger private equity firms that were hungry, that had passion and had backing with some family office money and high wealth individuals that wasn't a burn and churn private equity model of, we've got 3 years to monetize this and make it happen type of thing. So all those went into the equation.
You went through the process. We took time to get to know prospective buyers. Fortunately, there were multiple offers for you to consider. Owners who are thinking about going through what, in my line of work, I hear often the emotional roller coaster. Advice for them.
Well, it will be a little bit of a roller coaster. There will be highs and there will be lows. And what I knew, having worked with you through 2 other exits in the past, through the business partners that left, we worked together with you on both of those exits. That you and your team are very level-headed. And, it might be the proverbial duck on the pond where the feet are going crazy underneath the water, but it just glides across the top. And that's really what you want in an advisor, so that when you as the owner get a bit frenetic or flustered by something, because, they're talking about your baby, they're talking about your people, they're talking about your revenue. They're talking about the way you operate things, how you choose to spend money, and that can feel personal after 20-some years. And then they're putting a value on it. So during the negotiation process, it's good to have a disinterested party, which, of course, by the definition, is not someone that is uninterested. It's someone that's unbiased and can give you, really solid advice.
So it might sound self-serving for Tobin left, but make sure you pick your advisory team.
That's right.
Not just the M&A or investment bankers. The lawyers spent a lot of time. That's an important decision.
Yes.
There were tax advisors. So I know you're supporting. The team is important.
Yes, absolutely.
Be prepared. The process all told took almost 9 months. You had to run your business during that.
At the same time, yes.
Advice to our listeners, how to juggle both.
The great thing is I had a very strong leadership team, and the leadership team over the last many years, really, I have extracted myself on the account side from any day-to-day operation, any account operation. They make decisions. I can advise them on things and, of course, look at the fiduciary responsibilities. But they were able to keep the clients going and happy while I was working on this. And that was, really important. But, of course, there were, weekends and lots of calls and pulling together numbers and pulling them together again and pulling them together again. And that's okay.
Well, that's a good point about pulling the numbers together again. When owners who've gone through the M&A process, it's so important to, quote, keep your eye on the ball.
Right.
Because during the assessment period, when we're soliciting offers, when you go into due diligence, they want to see your numbers every month. And you've got to perform during that. So be prepared. Have your team it's going to be time consuming. Certainly the right M&A group would help minimize that. It's emotional. Be objective, as you said, as much as you can. So it's exciting. So you got
and we've known, we've been friends for a long time and have globbed lots of great advice from you. And, the saying, build your business to sell it even if you don't plan to, is a good thing to do. So to have your business as clean as possible, your accounting as clean as possible, your processes have things documented. We've always had that in our DNA over the past 20 years. And there's certainly areas where we could have been stronger here or there. But for a 25-person firm, extremely well process driven, and that helps a lot. That really does help a lot.
It did, and typically a firm your size may not attract the interest to be a platform with private equity groups. To your credit, well, one, you were super profitable, but you had a vision for growth.
Right.
And the marketplace, quote, bought it.
Yeah.
Case in point, multiple offers.
Right.
So your vision for growth, Mike, I asked you if this was going to be Arketi 2.0, 3.0.
We're now on Arketi 5.0. So, right now we're on 4.0, but the next version will be 5.0, and we'll know when we're at 5.0, when we're probably around the 100-person agency.
How are you going to get there?
There will be some organic, but it will be through M&A. It will be through acquiring stellar other agencies out there, maybe some that are listening to us today and can give us a call. More of the same, so certainly more B2B technology, PR, marketing, digital marketing, creative services, and then more of allied things. There are going to be interesting areas where we've wanted to push into, and we don't have huge expertise, but if we find a specialty firm that would give us that capability that we think we can cross-sell and upsell to existing clients and then sell our integrated model into their clients, that's a win-win. So I don't know I do know from having talked to our clients that geography is overall not super relevant. So we're not necessarily looking for dots on the map. Internationally, that's a little bit different. There could be some interest there. But we'll see. I think by the time Arketi makes its move into the 5.0 territory and going back out to market to find a new acquirer for the bigger, better, stronger, faster firm, I think we'll be around 100 folks.
Great. Michael, thank you for sharing with me, our listeners, viewers. David Tobin, Tobin Leff. We are mission-driven at Tobin Leff. My 7 partners and I were focused on helping owners maximize and monetize their life's work. We always welcome conversations. If you want to talk about your business in the M&A marketplace, please find us at Tobin Leff. Michael, thank you.
Thank you, David.
Thanks for listening to the Tobin Leff M&A podcast, produced by Main Impact with music by Holt Vaughn. For additional resources, case studies, or to contact a partner today, visit tobinleff.com and be sure to subscribe or sign up for our emails to never miss an episode.